place week after week. And occasionally we had someone stepping forward to offer ministry insight. Every one of us here today has a ministry that we could share.
Well, grace and peace to all of you. Wow, this microphone really works. You need to stand here. It's better acoustics, in my opinion. My name is Belinda, Alkula, and I'm a proud United Methodist woman. But what does that mean? It means that I'm a woman with a purpose. It's written on the bulletin board out here. There's a purpose. We're 150 years old and climbing. We have a rich history, a rich legacy. Can you imagine back in 1869? Wow, that was a different time, wasn't it? No microphones and no ceiling fans and all the rest. But 8 women made the difference. If you ever feel like we're too small or too old or too poor or too whatever, I hear pastors say that all the time. But God can work through each of us in amazing ways. And so in 1869, 8 women were at a meeting. And wives of missionaries from India had come. They were back on sabbatical in the United States. They were home on furlough. And they spoke, these wives of missionaries, to these 8 women in Boston. And they were told quite the story. They were told that back in India, women, that a male doctor could not treat a woman. And as far as schooling for girls in India, non-existent. Now this was a time when women and children were legally classified as, quote, chattel, legally dead, non-persons. Can you imagine? There was little service to women because of prejudice and limitations of cultural attitudes in the church and in society. So here in India, there were no doctors for women, there were no teachers for women, and these 8 women together in Boston heard this and thought, we have to do something. And so in just a few months, they came together, they got more women together, they established the Methodist Women's Foreign Missionary Society, and by November of that same year, wow, they got together, they raised money, they sent a doctor and an educator to India. And then amazing things happened. Schools were established, clinics were established. Wow, 8 women started this. Well, I think maybe God started this. The Holy Spirit worked through them, and amazing things happened. And now we're on our 151st year of existence and going strong. And those 8 women in 1869, wow, now we are 800,000 members strong and climbing. So we're women with a purpose. And our purpose is this. And keep in mind, in 2020, these words still are, they're strange and foreign to many women and children in the world. But our purpose is this. United Methodist Women shall be a community of women whose purpose is to know God and to experience freedom as whole persons through Jesus Christ, to develop a creative, supportive fellowship, and to expand concepts of mission through participation in the global ministries of the church. So nowadays, we're not just in the U.S., we're international. Our impact is known throughout the world. And Pastor Charles, when I first met him, he had 2 little churches in northeastern Nebraska, and the smaller church felt very small. But the kitchen was amazing. It was a great kitchen. And they had all these dishes and cutlery. And I mean, it was like the finest restaurant would have these dishes and cutlery. And I said to one woman, I've never seen a church kitchen decked out like this. It's great. And she said, honey, do you know what? Years ago, we decided we wanted the best for our church family. And we told everybody, we want to collect pennies. We will only accept pennies. And so every Sunday, every week, we collected all these pennies, and with enough time and with enough investment from our whole church family, we had enough money and we bought these great dishes, this great cutlery, and we celebrate that we could do this together. We did this on pennies alone. So if a few people with a few pennies can make a difference and aim for the best for their church family, one church at a time, and God working with us, nothing can be against us. So in closing, I just want to say that United Methodist Women, we have quite the legacy. We do things, we support one another, we laugh, we cry. You can walk into any United Methodist Women's organization and you have sisters, you're with family, you're connected with people you haven't even met yet, which is pretty exciting. So what do? We equip leaders, we organize for growth, we educate to transform, we serve and advocate. We're pretty amazing folks. We get together and we foster spiritual growth. All our members make everything possible. We have a national and international outreach. And thanks be to God, we're not done yet. Amen? Amen.
The ushers, please come forward to receive this morning's offering.